The planet shimmered like a sapphire in the void, orbiting a colossal gas giant deep within the habitable zone of the star system. As they descended into the humid atmosphere, Kira glanced at the sensors. "Look at this," she said, her slender finger pointing at the display. "There are structures here, and they're definitely not natural." Rax turned his multifaceted eyes towards the direction she indicated, his antennae twitching with curiosity. "Any signs of life?" Kira shuddered slightly. "Not what we're looking for, just smaller creatures, nothing significant. But I'm sure we're getting close." Rax exhaled in frustration. "This is the fourth moon we've checked. Time is running out." "I know," Kira replied, her voice tense. "But we're out of options. Let's keep searching." The sleek craft wove through towering spires made of an eclectic mix of materials, crystalline windows, obsidian-clad exteriors, and twisted metal frameworks. Each tower was an architectural marvel, but together they formed a chaotic and beautiful skyline. Kira stared out the viewport as they hovered above the structures. "There," she said, pointing. VX maneuvered the ship with precision, bringing it down to land on a rooftop garden. The thrusters sent waves through the foliage, and after a few final adjustments, the craft touched down. The two creatures, covered in silver scales that shimmered under the light, exited their ship, taking in the strange new world. VX bent down to examine a strange glowing plant, his senses heightened as an insect buzzed past him. A tall humanoid figure emerged from the shadows, maintaining a respectful distance. "Greetings," it said in a voice that resonated with warmth. "What brings you to my world?" Kira stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "We're searching for something. Someone, actually. We were hoping you could help us." The figure's gaze softened as it knelt to meet them at eye level. "If it's within my power, I'll assist you." VX's antennae flicked nervously. "Be cautious, Kira. Offers of help usually come with strings attached." Kira raised a hand to reassure him, her attention still on the humanoid. "We're looking for humans. We've heard tales that they might be hiding somewhere in this system. We need to find them. It's urgent." The figure touched its chin thoughtfully. "Humans, you say? What do they look like?" VX took a step closer. "They're said to be warriors clad in armor, capable of wielding immense power. They can see through any deception." The figure recoiled slightly. "That sounds formidable. I've seen no such beings here. Why would you seek them out?" Kira's gaze was steady. "We have our reasons. Perhaps others in this city might know of them." The figure stood and looked out across the otherworldly landscape. "I'm the only one here," it said softly. "My people left long ago. I chose to stay and create this." It gestured to the garden surrounding them. Rax's eyes widened. "You built all of this alone?" The figure nodded, a hint of pride in its voice. "Yes. It's how I keep myself occupied." Kira blinked in surprise. "Are you a human?" The figure smiled. "The name's Orion, and yes, I am human. This world is my sanctuary." Rax's scales rippled with disbelief. You're really a human? We need your help. Our people are in danger." Orion's expression grew serious. "Tell me more." Kira placed her cup down. "Our world is under siege. The Doctor have declared war on our race, claiming our planet as their own. We need to know where the rest of your kind have gone. The architecture here, it's incredible. Surely they built this city." Orion chuckled. "I'm not lying to you. I am human, and this city is my work. But I'm afraid I don't know of any other humans in the system." Rax's voice quivered with desperation. "If you don't know where they are, can you at least help us protect our people?" Orion stood, his demeanor shifting from calm to resolute. "I can do better than that. Follow me." He led them to a hidden door, which opened into a vast chamber filled with advanced technology. Orion began to prepare, removing his robe to reveal a physique honed by years of discipline. He placed a small device on the back of his neck, and lines of energy began to glow across his skin. "Artemis, initiate defense protocols," Orion commanded. Kira and VX watched in awe as he armed himself with a sleek obsidian staff that crackled with energy. "What are you doing?" VX asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Orion turned to them, his eyes now glowing with determination. "I'm preparing for battle. You've got a war to win, and I'm not going to let the Doctor have their way." With a wave of his hand, a portal opened, revealing a view of their besieged home world. Kira gasped as she recognized the landscape. That's our world. Orion stepped into the portal, his voice carrying back to them. Don't worry, your people are under my protection now. As he disappeared, the portal closed, leaving Kira and VX staring at the spot where he had vanished. VX finally spoke, his voice trembling. What just happened? Kira shook her head, still in shock. I'm not sure, but I think we just found our savior. Orion stepped out of the portal onto the surface of the besieged planet, the ground trembling under the relentless bombardment from the DR warships. The air was thick with smoke, and the sky was darkened by the shadow of the massive enemy fleet overhead. Orion took a deep breath, the familiar scent of battle filling his lungs, and tightened his grip on the obsidian staff. Artemis, status report, he commanded, his voice calm but resolute. Multiple enemy units detected, Commander, the AI responded, her tone crisp. DR forces are concentrated in urban centers, systematically eradicating civilian populations. Their warships are targeting key infrastructure. Orion's eyes narrowed as he surveyed the destruction around him. We need to disrupt their chain of command. Locate the central command ship. Coordinates locked, Artemis replied, overlaying a holographic map in Orion's vision. It's heavily shielded, but I can guide you to a weak point in their defenses. Perfect, Orion muttered, a fierce determination settling in his chest. Let's end this. He launched himself into the air, the energy lines on his body flaring brightly as Artemis boosted his speed. He soared above the ruined cities, his eyes scanning the devastation below. He could see the DR forces, huge armored creatures, their reptilian forms bristling with weapons, marching through the streets, slaughtering anything in their path. Orion's heart burned with anger, but he kept his focus on the mission. Artemis, prepare for full-scale engagement. I want maximum damage to the command ship systems. Understood, Commander. Targeting sequence initiated. As he closed in on the command ship, Orion extended his hand, and the obsidian staff hummed with power. A beam of energy shot out, tearing through the clouds and striking the ship's hull with pinpoint accuracy. The ship shuddered under the impact, its shields flickering as they struggled to contain the blast. Orion didn't hesitate. He landed on the ship's surface with a deafening thud, his feet barely touching the metal before he unleashed another wave of energy from his staff. The blast punched through the hull, creating a gaping hole that exposed the ship's interior. With a single thought, Artemis deployed a swarm of nanobots that flowed into the breach, disabling the ship's systems and sowing chaos among the crew. Orion moved with deadly precision, dispatching any DR soldiers that crossed his path. His staff crackled with energy as he struck each blow, sending shockwaves through the ship. The Doctor Commander, a towering beast clad in ornate armor, emerged from the shadows, roaring in fury. You dare challenge the Doctor Empire, human? You will be crushed. Orion smirked, twirling his staff. I've faced worse than you. Let's see what you've got. The commander lunged, but Orion was faster. He sidestepped the attack and delivered a crushing blow to the creature's side, the impact sending it crashing into the wall. The doctor roared in pain, but Orion didn't give it a chance to recover. He drove his staff into the commander's chest, the obsidian tip piercing through the armor as if it were paper. The doctor gasped, its eyes wide with shock as it crumpled to the ground. Orion stood over it, his expression cold. Your empire ends today. He pulled the staff free, and the commander's body slumped to the floor, lifeless. Orion turned to the ship's main console, his fingers flying over the controls. Artemis, initiate the self-destruct sequence. It's time to send a message. Sequence initiated, Artemis confirmed. You have 60 seconds to evacuate. Orion activated the portal device on his wrist, the air around him shimmering as the portal began to open. He stepped through just as the ship's alarms blared, the countdown to destruction ticking down. He emerged back on the surface just in time to see the command ship explode in a brilliant flash of light. The shockwave rippled through the atmosphere, scattering the remaining DR forces in disarray. The once formidable fleet began to retreat, their ships fleeing the planet's orbit.